Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. What a beautiful day it is this morning. Now let's see. It's 10:30. I've been up for a while now. I'd like to enjoy my big old 24-ounce cup of coffee in the morning with some sunshine and a nice cigar. This is my morning ritual. Take in the sun, enjoy the beautiful weather in the morning, wake up slowly, think about my day, because we're going to work on Sergeant Major today. But before I do that, I thought I'd get you caught up on that trailer camper, the camper that I sleep in while I'm down at Martin doing my shuttles all during the week. Some of you subscribers know that I was taking that camper off the pickup. Too much weight on that pickup. Fuel mileage sucks. That's why I don't go home very often during the week. So I decided to buy a utility trailer and take the camper off the pickup, which the pickup goes by the name Drill Sergeant. And the Drill Sergeant is much happier today, I can tell you that. And I'm going to walk you through what we did, what it looks like now, what it looked like before, but I'll walk you through it. I couldn't videotape during the process. It took a whole day just to get, well, not a whole day, not 24 hours, but it was my time off. I spent all last week off. Today's Saturday, and I've been off all week, so I've been working on that camper. But I'm gonna walk y'all through that. So let me shut this down, turn the camera around, and we'll get at it. See you shortly. All right, without further ado, here's Drill Sergeant. And as you can see, he's got the camper off the back of him. And then here's the utility trailer that I bought, and the camper's sitting on top of it. Oh. I guess this is what they call an ATV trailer, snowmobile trailer, the type that's got the wheels underneath the trailer. This is perfect, because right here is where my lift poles, which are right there. All of those poles go to this camper to lift it up off the ground or off of what it's on, and two of them attach. One attaches here and one attaches here, and they both are outside the width of the trailer. That's exactly what I needed. Originally I was going to buy a trailer where the tires were on the outside, and they come out to about probably a foot out from the trailer. That would have been a problem getting it between these poles. I would have had to finagle my way in there. So when I was coming home one day, I saw this just down the road from my house, and I'm like, man, that's the one I need right there. It costs a lot more money. It's a 2019 Caravan, right? That's the makers of it. $3,500. So I really couldn't complain about that. All right, now some of you may wonder why isn't the camper all the way on there? Why is it? Yeah, this section here, pretty much right here, all the way over is where all the plumbing is. The door comes down, as you can tell. That's where all the drain lines run, right through there. So they have to be at the end of the trailer, otherwise you got to cut holes in the trailer for the drain. Now I'm not using the drains. I don't use the sinks. There's a sink right here. There's a drain right there. There's a sink. There's a toilet in there. There's a drain for it. And there's a drain for the shower through the floor. And then on the other side, there's a drain coming from the kitchen area. And they're not even all, somebody messed them up. In order for me to use them, I'd have to redo them so that they all go into one or two at the. The shower is just a little hole in the floor with a screen. So there's nothing you can do with that. It just runs out the bottom. It's just shower water. But I don't use the shower because I don't have plumbing, because the plumbing system needs to be redone. I need to put PEX all through it, replace all the water lines with PEX. But yeah, and then so I use these to tie it down to the truck, and I had to cut these because these were the longer ones. I had to cut 6 inches off the rebar part of it, and to make them shorter, so I could put the long ones in the back and the short ones in the front, like original. And it's on there. It ain't going nowhere. But the problem we have, let me show you what I had to do. Yeah, had to take, that's the propane box where the propane tanks go. Yep. That's the door on the other side. If I push that door open, which I can't because it's got a lock on, but if I pushed it open, you'd see the inside of the camper. This is where the propane box sits. The propane tanks sit right here. And then I run the propane line through over here. I broke that off trying to get the propane line off, which is this line here, and this part, which I broke off that part trying to get this off. It'd been on there for so damn long that it didn't out, and that don't even look bad, but it didn't want to come off there. It goes on there like that. This screws on there through that plate wall, or that metal wall. Anyway, so the reason I have this all apart is simply because this is where the trailer wire comes in through the floor, goes through the floor right here, comes out, and then plugs into the truck or plugs into the pickup, however you have it. But it comes in here and it was wiring. And I've been having the hell of a time. These are all the trailer lights, or lights on the camper, I should say. But here's what I didn't understand. This is a hot wire. It runs up here to this fuse box, and it's basically a hot. And the other end comes from over here, and it runs. So this is hot when the trailer's plugged in. This was wired to the pickup terminal, the 7-way plug. And I could not figure out for the life of me why I was getting 14 volts through the cord plugging into the pickup. Why am I getting that? So I traced it down. This is one of these. I think that one right there. I don't know why it splits off over to here and then plugs into the camper plug. That part I do not get. The only thing I can think of is at one time this had a 12 volt slash propane slash 110 refrigerator in it. A lot of RVs, a lot of campers come with 12 volt propane slash 110. Basically, when you unplug them and you're running down the road, they're running off 12 volt. 12 volt just keeps the temperature as long as possible, longer than if you didn't have it hooked up. And so I'm thinking that was a 12 volt for the refrigerator. And somehow it got wired into the pigtail. So I don't know what the deal is for that. I just don't. But I've got a new cord coming. This is the old cord. And this part, as you can tell, that screw's rusted to be, I could not get that out. So if you ohm out this end with this end, some of you know what I mean by ohming out. You take a voltmeter and you put a wire on this end and you put a wire on this end, and the wire going all the way through should have contact, and when it has contact on the meter, it zeroes out. It means there's connection. Well, when I do that with each individual wire, I get cross connection from some of these wires. So inside this thing is foobar, and I couldn't get that out unless I took it to the barn and just grinded it out, dude, whatever. And then how am I gonna, whatever. So I bought a new one that's supposed to be here today. I also, this is what really ticked me off yesterday. This happened yesterday. So the pigtail that was on here while I was trying to make it work, and this is off the trailer now, 2019, 4 years old, this pigtail was shit. And then there was a pigtail on here that came with this thing, okay? And it was crap, and it even had a plug on it. And they were just junk. So I ordered another 3 of those. They're supposed to come today along with the cord. So hopefully sometime today I'll be able to get that back together on the camper, ready for work Monday. today's Saturday, so I'm really hoping that comes in. I really do. But that's where we're at with that. Just in case somebody's wondering, these are just hot and ground cables for this bad boy right here, which is going on the Lieutenant Watermelon as a external way to jump start the truck or jump start somebody else's truck. So that's what them cables are for. And here's the voltmeter, okay, just to show you guys how to do it. These things, everybody should have one of these. Everybody. You can get them anywhere. Spend 20 bucks, 25 bucks. I used to make these in class when I was in electronics, computer class. We had to build one of these ourselves. I don't know, it's somewhere. But anyway, okay, so you turn this, see this symbol right here? That's ohm. So you want to turn it to ohm, somewhere around there is fine. And see, right now it's saying zero load. There's no connection. But if I touch these two together, that's what happens. It zeroes out. So basically, if I touch a wire here and a wire here and they're connected, when these two touch, that should zero out. Well, what I was getting on this was cross contamination. In other words, there's wires in here that are touching other wires. So I was getting all kinds of readings through this thing. So this thing's junk. So I ripped it out. I got a new one coming, and I'm gonna replace it today, hopefully. Yeah. So that's where we're at with the drill sergeant, the camper, and oh yeah, and see, you notice I put that toolbox on there. See, some of y'all don't know about that toolbox. That toolbox came from Tennessee on that red F-150 back there. That's what it originally came with when I bought that, shoot, a long time ago. And well, anyway, as you can tell, the camper sits back pretty far. So without that or anything up here, that camper will, the trailer will tilt. Once I disconnect it from the truck, it will tilt. So I had to add some weight up here. So what better way to do that than to put this toolbox that I had sitting back there behind the barn, but next to the barn, not being used in years. So my wife actually came up with the idea, like, yeah, that'll work. So I mounted it right there with some U-bolts, one on each side and two in the middle for that. You got the big bar here, right? I got two U-bolts, 1, 2, and then one on each over here. It's solid. And everything that was in the pickup, tools wise, all that stuff, that thing's full. And now I can disconnect it and it'll just sit right on the ground. It won't tip back. So had to do all that, and that's why I left the feet up here. These are the legs that get the camper up off the trailer or off the pickup, whatever it's on, and left them up there as well. And I'm also thinking about boxing this whole thing in so I can just toss stuff up there without it falling off the trailer. I don't know. Still thinking. All right. So there you go. You got the update on the drill sergeant with the winch. He's got a small slow leak on the driver's side steer tire. I got to address one of these days. I still got to get his exhaust replaced and tank straps replaced. There's 2 tank straps I got to put on there, and the exhaust. Other than that, it's good to go, other than the body, as you can tell. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm still thinking about someday putting that drivetrain underneath that F-150. I've seen an F-150. Well, it was an F-150, but the guy had done the same exact thing, and that thing was a rape date, boy. That's what he did. He put a 7.3 in that F-150 and then changed the emblem on it to say F-350. So anyway, so today what we're gonna do here in a little bit is we're gonna mount this damn thing right here. We're gonna mount it, right? This is the stack mount that looks just like that one. Looks just like that one. We're gonna put it on this side. So eventually I'll have a set of dual stacks going up. Well, today we're gonna mount that one. And I've got a template. It's just a piece of cardboard. Just a piece of cardboard I put on there, hold it in place, mark the holes, and then I'm gonna put the cardboard up there and mark the holes, and then we're gonna cut them. I got a tool. I got a tool that will cut holes right through that frame, no problem. I just got to make sure I put it in the exact spot that it goes in. And from what I can tell, it's going to sit right over top of them 2 bolts sticking out, which I don't like that idea, because what if I need to get to them 2 bolts? But anyway, that's what it does. So we'll get back to that. I'm going to shut this down for now, and I'll bring you back when we get started on the stack mount install. Okay, we got the holes marked, as you can see. One there, one there, one there. Now you may be asking, why are there 2 holes on this side and that side? Well, because the old adage, always measure twice, cut once type thing. Well, I was using, let me back this up a little bit. I was using that L bracket right there and measuring outward over there, and then getting the same measurement over here. That's the first marks on the right side. Well, once I got it marked and I looked at it, something didn't seem right. So I remeasured, but I measured from here, this center hole right there. Because I figure whoever built this truck, you know, back in the day, this was put square. The tape mounts were put on with a machine square. You know, so I used this mark over there and then over here, and that's where the second set on the outside come from. I had to shift the thing over. This is the actual mark for the right side top. And as you can see, I had to move it over that way. But we're ready to start drilling holes. And I've got the machine we're going to use right there in that box. So let me get all set up, and I'll bring you back and we'll start drilling some holes. All right, everybody, so I got the tool out of the box. It came with a bunch of drill bits, all different sizes. This is what they call a mag drill. And you know what? I don't even know. It came with an oiler and everything. I bought it simply because I knew I was going to be drilling these holes and other holes on my other truck, and so I'm never going to be drilling too many holes with that, but that's why I bought the cheap one. I think it was less than $300. I can't remember. It was cheap. I wanted to buy the Milwaukee, obviously, but I decided to go with this one, and I even did the review, read all the reviews, and everybody said for your novice, you know, whoever's gonna, you know, people like me that aren't gonna use it a bunch of, that this one worked just fine. So we're gonna use that to punch out those 6 holes. So let me get set up, and we'll go from there. All right, I got the first hole cut. I'll walk you through the next hole. It's getting it set up to cut the hole that's the hard part. And this thing has been sitting so long that this needed to be greased and all that, so I didn't want to get all that on camera. But yeah, you got to keep this lubricated. There's a loop system on here, but it don't really work too good when it's laying parallel to the ground. Standing up, it works fine. So I'm just using some oil to help it cut. But as you can tell, it cuts a nice hole. Easy peasy. Now this is a 1/2 inch drill bit. It's called something else, but I forget the name right now. Anyway, it's a 1/2 inch. So the hole's 1/2 inch. The bolt that goes through it is 7/16. So I measured the bolts over there. That's the ones I got to go buy some. I don't have none, but we're going to get this up today. We're just going to get it mounted in place. That's my goal. So let's get this set up to drill the next hole, and I'll bring you right back. All right, we're going to drill the second hole now. All right, there you go. We'll get it set up for the next hole. All right, she's on, folks. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I couldn't videotape drilling the holes. I just couldn't do it. It's on there though. Them are the temporary bolts. I just wanted to see it up there. I gotta take this back off, change them bolts out with grade 8 hardened bolts, nuts, wash, you know, all that stuff. Plus I need to repaint under there because I scratched it all up. My mag drill was being a pain in the butt. First of all, this frame is not flat. It's got a curve to it. So the magnet couldn't sit flat where it best operates. Because of that, the front of it wanted to move back and forth, and I had to hold it, and I had to re-drill a couple holes, couple times, you know, different. As it is, these are all 1/2-inch holes, and they take a 7/16 bolt. I have a 7/16 bolt in all 5 of these, but that one's going to take a 3/8 bolt. But they're going to all be hardened. That ain't going to be a problem. I don't like it, but I'd rather not keep trying to drill. Keep drilling that hole, or this hole right here. That's really the only hole I'd really need to re-drill. So I may still do it. I ain't made up my mind yet, but I ain't doing more today because I'm whooped. So here's what she looks like. For now. But yeah, that's what she looks like with the stack mounts in place. They look just looking at them, and yeah, I guess they look, it's almost like that. Is it just me, or is the right one higher? Or maybe I'm just the way maybe it's just because there's stuff in the way. Makes it look higher. Almost looks like the cab's, well, hello folks. Yeah, the cab's not actually sitting correctly, so let's just ignore that for right now. But all right, there it is. This job's done. I'll get this video out here pretty quick. I'll get some more video out. My parts came for the electric cord to hook up to the new electric cord for the 12-volt supply on the camper, so all the lights work on the outside, blinkers, brake lights, all that. I also got new 4 what do you call it, RV plugs. So I got 3 new RV plugs. I got to hook them up, one to the pickup, one to the trailer that the camper sits on, and then the other one's just a spare. But yeah, I got to get them all hooked up, make sure the trailer lights all work, and then get the pigtail hooked up to the camper, make sure the camper lights all work. And I don't know if I'm going to do that today. I'm sure I'm going to do something. But yeah, so all right, we'll get back to you. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for watching.